starting in order. I hope so.
All right.
Yeah.
Nerima, you are explaining and we're looking at maybe the achievements Siasa Place has made. You're mentioning that one of the things that has kept the youth maybe from being disengaged with what is going on the ground is the fact that there is almost an intentional push to keep them off. What have you achieved as Siasa Place to have now the youth participate in politics?
A lot of the times our dialogues, we've had to frame them to where we talk about things that young people care about. We will start by talking about perhaps the price of a matatu. Why is it increasing? And then you talk about now taxes or, you know, the exportation, importation issues that our country has or the decisions that Parliament brings. And then we find that after you break it down that way, young people actually want to be engaged because they begin to realize that this decision impacts them and they better be parcel and process of it instead of having to deal now with decisions that have been made without them. So it has been positive so far. We've been in existence for about almost 3 years now. And the more and more that we go into the communities and we talk about this, the more they want to engage. In fact, about 3 weeks ago, we were in Isli. And so when we were having a dialogue there, we had about 30 youth. And 2 of them had voters' cards. Only 2. One was going to vote in Wajir, another one in Isli. The other 28 did not have. But after the dialogue, they now wanted a voter's card. And we're like, we're sorry, that period has now ended. And their main complaint was like, but we didn't see anyone in Isli coming to talk to us. But we saw the commercials, but we didn't figure it was that important. And so now when you break it down that way to young people, they actually do want to be concerned with the whole process and participate.
All right, Vincent, another unique thing with the election this year is the number of presidential candidates that we have, albeit there is 6 and then there is 2, which of course they have complained about. But maybe just generally looking at the opening of the democratic space to where everybody feels, should they feel the call and, you know, the responsibility to lead the country, they're free to do that. That would not have happened some time ago.
Michael, I can tell you in 2022, you are likely to have more, particularly if none of the 2 that we have, because if Uhuru Kenyatta, if Raila wins, Uhuru Kenyatta is still entitled to run because the constitution gives a cap of 2 terms. So he can still has a democratic right to run in 2022. Now, according to the NASA pact that we have was circulated in social media, that Raila is a 1-term president. So in 2022, if you remove these 2, I can tell you the space is going to be very open, and you would likely to see a lot of people running, which is good because we have fresh ideas. It was good to see during the first presidential debate, you saw all the 3 candidates were PhD holders, the quality and the depth of the conversation. It's also good to see that it is possible for the son of a peasant to be able to run. Because what we have currently is the son of a former president and the son of a former vice president. So what about some of us who, our fathers even never became councillors? You know, there is hope. As in, the reality is that there is hope that everybody can run and be able to contribute to this country. I wanted to say something, Michael. One of the reasons why we have high-stakes politics today is because of 2 things. There is the issue of marginalization and there is the issue of exclusion. There are many people in this country who feel they are not marginalized. The youth are in positions, appointments, but they have been excluded in decision making. And that's my concern with youth organizations. If we really want to be able to be where it matters, why we are quoting Tom Mboya, why we are quoting Mike Kibaki is that when he was made Minister of Finance, he made decisions. Tom Mboya made decisions in his youthful days, and that's why they were of impact. What we need to do is to translate these numbers into moving it from marginalized corners. Look at even the procurement change rules. They say we want to change the procurement rules to cater for youth, women, and persons with disabilities, people who are marginalized. Yet these are 60% of the population. As in, can you see the disconnect between how do you plan for 60% of the population and call them that they are part of those who are marginalized? It's actually an underestimation of of their worth and value and place in society. So what my recommendation, I know I'm a consultant, Nerima needs to engage me somewhere. We need to get youth to be included in decision making. When you are part, even why people feel why these elections is high stakes, that they feel if so-and-so is elected, even my decision, I will be valued through his ticket. That is actually why we have high-stake politics.
All right. And, all right, live pictures that are coming through. And, of course, as we've mentioned earlier, we are basically in all 47 counties bringing you details of what is happening. Voting has begun in majority of the places. We have got our foothold on, and most of them have opened at least within 30 minutes of the scheduled time. So we have live images there from Kakamega, where we have our reporter Trix Ingado, and as soon as we have a clearer picture. This, of course, is because, well, with the network sometimes being unstable, getting clear pictures might be a bit of a challenge. But, of course, as soon as that stabilizes, we will be catching up with Trix Ingado right there. But let me come back to you, Marcus. And in regards to the opening of democratic space, looking at the number of presidential candidates, looking at even the number of people that have thrown in their hat for elective positions. We have 14,000. I mean, it's huge. That's a huge number. Isn't that good news for Kenya that people feel now they can participate?
I think it is. I think Kenyans are slowly coming to terms that they have a role to play to ensure that Kenya moves to the next level. And I think I think in 2022, as Vincent has already said, you expect to see even a more vibrant system, more vibrant landscape.
Although the question might be, is it because they feel they want to change this country, or is it because those positions seems to be very lucrative and, you know, can line people's pockets?
I mean, it's a mixture. But we want to assume that everyone who is out there,
they're in for a good reason.
They're in for a good reason. But I want to take I mean, Vincent has taken a position that I totally disagree with. That to indicate that 51% of our population to be marginalized, I don't see any contradiction. You can have even 80% of our population marginalized. And when you put measures to empower them, that is a good system. Now, whether those measures work or they don't work, that's the question. But I think the spirit of the law to help these people arrive at certain level of development is something that Kenya should be proud of. The other thing I wanted to say before, maybe if you want to close this show, is that sometimes that the youth, if they feel they are not included in decision making, sometimes it is about themselves. I mean, how do you package yourself? It's also very important how you package yourself. Do you package yourself as a person that can effect change? Or do you package yourself as a person that can be used by anyone else? As an agent of destruction, as an agent of war. So I think also as we look at other reasons, I think we need to call our youth to change themselves, to package themselves as serious people who can change this country.
All right, and well, still having discussions here, but I want to bring in Michelle Ngele, my co-host here, to just give us details and update us on what is happening in the field. Michelle.